Greetings YouTube, it's been too long. My name's Gray, you're watching Consoletronix. That's right folks, I pulled my finger out and made a video for you all. And why the delay? Well, truthfully, I've been playing with my balls a lot. And no, that's not something I learned during lockdown, because as a key worker, I never experienced lockdown. I went to work every day like a mug. Anybody out there want to take a guess at what I do for a living? I'll give you a clue. I'm not a brain surgeon, but what I am is a gamer and collector. For example, here's something that arrived this morning for me in the post. The 1980 annual based on the short-lived British science fiction comic Tornado. Which, despite lasting only 22 weekly issues, was initially released with a fair bit of hype as 2018's sister title. Now, I don't know much about Tornado, if I'm completely honest with you, but anybody out there would like to take a look inside with me? Because I know I'm quite curious, so shall we break the thrill barrier together? Let's have a look. Because it only lasted a handful of issues, I imagine most of this stuff will be, most of this stuff will be reprints from much older comics. I know I saw Anthony Daniels there, so they're advertising some of the upcoming releases. What is this? Sci-Fi is really back. Yeah, Sci-Fi wasn't always seen as the go-to place for, what's that, sports? All kinds of stuff. Hello, we've got a colour strip in there. What's this then? Another reprint? I'm not familiar with this. Let's have a butcher's. It says, too many young scum with guns think that they're Flash. Villains that want to get something for nothing. Too many young coppers fresh out of training school. Easy meat for the aggro boys. Somebody's got to hold law and order together. That's my job. They call me the governor. Oh, that's one of the reasons why I love these old comic strips. You just wouldn't get stuff like this anymore. All these Dirty Harry inspired comic strips and that. And I don't know, there's one I do recognise. What's that? That's the bamboo curtain. Something about the bamboo curtain. Bloody hell, did we reprint the whole thing? What's this? That's it, the terror behind the bamboo curtain, the old battle strip. An old World War II strip set in a prisoner of war camp, a Japanese prisoner of war camp. But that's enough of that. You didn't come here to see the history of British comics. No, you came here to see, boom, this, some video game magazines. This is my, not exactly complete, but my more than adequate collection of Raze magazines. Now, I won't be offended if you've never heard of Raze, because had I not picked up a couple of issues as a kid, I probably wouldn't have heard of it. It is a multi-format magazine that came to us quite early in the day, November 1990, just when the consoles, particularly here in the UK, just when the consoles were really starting to take control of the industry, which had long been dominated by computers such as the Commodore 64, then later the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST. But the first issue I would pick up would actually be this one, because anything with Michelangelo and Robocop on the cover will always get my 10-year-old attention. But yeah, here's issue 1. That was actually issue 2. Issue 1, it would only last for 12 issues, so 12 monthly issues for a calendar year. I couldn't tell you much about Raze or how it came to be, but I do know that it was a spin-off of this thing, the Games Machine, which was a somewhat popular-ish, I imagine, because it lasted quite a few issues, somewhat popular multi-format magazine itself, although more computer-orientated, I think. So, yeah, anyone want to take a trip down memory lane with me and have a look inside some of these old mags? Now, I mentioned it was Michelangelo and Robocop's mugs on the cover that made me pick up this issue of Raze, but here on issue 1, I have to be honest, the cover is not exactly a standout. I very probably saw this as a kid in the newsagents and didn't think anything of it. But we've got, what's that, Shadow of the Beast? In fact, it is Shadow of the Beast Part 2, and we have, what is that, Flight of the Intruder, which I think is an Amiga game. I have to say the cover is not the best, but it does promise explosive console computer and coin-op entertainment. So shall we take a quick look inside? And we have straight into some advertisements, and quite an interesting one because it's advertising Total Recall from Ocean. Now I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head if Total Recall did ever appear on the NES. I've got a funny feeling it did, but the home computer version was particularly popular over here. Not a great game, it has to be said, and we come to the first splash page showing off there's the very reason why I picked it up, the Master System. Only maybe a couple of weeks prior to actually picking up this, which was my very first video game magazine, it has to be said, was because I'd gone to a friend's house and played a Master System for the first time, and I got to experience games like Wonder Boy 3, Shinobi, played Double Dragon for the very first time, others like R-Type, which began my love of shoot 'em ups. Yeah, that's what made me actually look at video game magazines. Now, before I take a look at what they're actually reviewing this month, I want to take a look at some of the machines that they would be reviewing games for. I think you can see there we have the Atari Links, the Sega Mega Drive, obviously the Master System, NES. There's one over there in the corner if you could just about see it, with the old Atari 7800. But look, oh, there's my man, the PC Engine. I love that machine. But look, there's another console here. Check that out. Who remembers that thing? The old Amstrad Gx4000. Now, I think Raze, Raze might have been the only magazine to actually review games for this machine. The Amstrad range of computers are hugely popular here in the UK, but the GX4000, which was basically just a consoleized 8-bit computer, when the 16-bits were starting to take over, yeah, it was not popular over here. But let's see what they're reviewing. Now, it's broken up into two parts. I'll show you that in a second. But here's the first bit, the console. So we're looking at Atari Links, Slime World. Oh, if you're only going to review one game for the Links, it must make it one of the best. We have the Game Boy. Only 2 games out that month. Paperboy and no, actually only 1. Paperboy. For the Master System, it's only 2. Amazing Spider-Man, Super Monaco Grand Prix. What's that? Only 1 game for the Mega Drive. Batman. Oh, bloody hell. NES. Batman again. PC Engine, a couple of games. Devil Crush. And Hell Explorer. Now, Devil Crush, the pinball game, should be familiar with that. Hell Explorer, I'm not familiar with. But then check this out. The 16-bits, or more specifically, the 16-bit computers. So we've got PC games. But here, look. Amiga and Atari ST. Now, we'll come into, there's something I want to touch upon about Amiga and ST, and I'll touch upon that in a minute, but some more advertisements. What's that? It's, the fuck is that? Amiga Full. Don't know what that is. Must be a compilation. We have Hellraising, introducing the people who are going to be reviewing these games. Some familiar names. Les Ellis, Julian Rignall here? Is he here? Maybe not. Well, let's skip along, shall we? Look, Jumping Jock Splat. Oh yeah, how many of you knew that Lemmings was actually a Scottish game? Done by DMA Design, no less. The people who would bring us the first couple of Grand Theft Auto games. And Beast Turning Japanese. Now, it's interesting they should mention that. Triple Trouble, not familiar with that game. What the fuck is that? Cutie Poo, never heard of it. Must be a Amiga exclusive. But, yeah, this thing, Beast Turning Japanese. Now, most of you should be aware that if you've watched any of my videos before that, I am a big anime manga fan. Well, it's thanks to magazines like this, like Raze, that I would be introduced to a lot of Japanese pop culture. Things like Ramna, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho. I would get introduced to in the pages of magazines like this and Sega Force and others who are really promoting the Japanese side of things. We go from Japan to the UK with Cotton Chips twice. Yeah, old James Pond. Now this looks like the very first game of the Underwater Detectives adventures. Obviously part 2, Robocod, would be the most popular. What's that? Advertising Future Basketball. Oh, here's some 2080 stuff. Rogue Trooper. Actually, if I can have a rummage here, if you'll bear with me. I just so happen to have that very game to hand. 2080's Rogue Trooper. Not a particularly great game, but as a fan, I had to pick it up. Now, what else are we looking at here? Team Suzuki. Nothing's hugely entertaining. What's this? Sights on CD. Oh, yes. They're talking about the future of video games. And so, ooh la la. Raze prided themselves. Raze prided themselves on their Japanese knowledge and know-how. I think they might be talking about it up here actually, because see these. But yeah, they would actually talk about a lot of machines that I wouldn't come to understand for many years to come, but they would be talking about things like the FM Towns and Marty, and of course lots of lots of hentai games on those kind of machines. What's this? Entertainment USA. So they're talking about, I think this is the US release of the PC Engine. They're talking about what's this? Big in Japan. Oh, this is quite interesting. Some early prototype designs for the Mega CD. Is it the Mega Modem? I think so. Okay, what the fuck that is. Let's see. Interesting. Mega Drive. Oh, these are titles that are coming out for the Mega Drive, I think. So we've got Moonwalker, Roadbusters, Kageki. Not a bad game, that Dynamite Duke. I had that. Crackdown, decent. Space Invaders 90, Tora, Strider, Clax. Oh yeah, some pretty old titles. Pretty sure what's that. Which console? Obviously, as a multi-format magazine, they couldn't play favourites. So here's a little article showing off the best of what did they say about the Amstrad Gx4000? Only 99 pounds. Well, let's have a quick read of it. Well, the Gx4000 is a very new machine. New machine, only £100. Only been introduced at the beginning of September. So they've only been out about 2 months, because even though this is dated in November, it would have come out the month previous. Its predecessor, the Amstrad Color Personal Computer, has been around for over 5 years. The GX4000 architecture is very similar to CPCs. Indeed, if the GX4000 accepted software on cassette or disc, you discover it would run all CPC software. That doesn't mean the GX4000 is simply a CPC without a keyboard. Far from it. Yeah, there's some extra colours, and apparently colours and all that seem to be very high on the list of priorities. Actually, that's the launch title, Burning Rubber. I've got that one. I do have a GX4000. The Atari Links, I'm not 100% sure, but did the Links actually make it to market before the Game Boy? Not sure. Yeah, but yeah, that's the old Lynx 1 model. I've got the Lynx 2. Atari 7800. I don't know much about the 7800 if I'm honest. What's that? 64GS. Now I think this is like the GX4000 in that it was a consoleized Commodore 64, I think. What did they say? The 64GS is the very latest addition to the crowded console scene. The technology used, however, has been around for years. It is, after all, simply a Commodore 64 without a keyboard. And I think, like the GX4000, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this does not accept discs or cassettes or even a keyboard. Ah, my baby, the PC Engine. It's got a UK price at £199.95. That may actually be the price of an import model. If all the PC Engine variants mentioned above weren't enough, NEC to launch a handheld version. So yeah, despite its minuscule size, the engine packs a mighty punch. It's arguably the most popular machine in Japan, and as such has an enormous software base. Sadly, manufacturer NEC has no intention of launching the machine officially in the UK. Thankfully, however, there are a number of great importers offering an excellent service. So yeah, you'd be able to come to most high street stores and get RGB modded Japanese PC Engine that would run all with a UK power supply. Yeah, the PC Engine was massive here in the UK, particularly in the import scene. A lot of people think the import scene actually started with the Sega Saturn, but it had actually been going on for years. And the Master System, that's actually how much I paid for a Master System back in, when did I get mine? 91? So yeah, the box is big, but then fresh air is free. That doesn't imply the Sega is no good. On the contrary, while the machine is based around existing 8-bit computer technology, the key to the Master System's success is its custom audio and video hardware. Oh, okay. What's that? Sega Mega Drive. Pretty pricey back then, not £189.95. In fact, 1990. When did the Mega Drive actually come out in the UK? So it would probably have been out in time for Christmas 1990, I guess. And there's a new boy in time, the Game Boy. What's that? Super showing a Punisher, but they were reviewing the Punisher on the Amiga, maybe. They were the Punisher, page 40. Well, have a butcher's out there. What else? More adverts. This is an ST, isn't it? I think so, one of the newer models. A lot of text people like to read back in those days. Devil Crush. How much did they score up? This is actually one of the most popular pinball games out there. I can't see it. There. PC Engine, 93%. This was actually, was this a US title or was this Japanese import? I can't see. Import, I guess. Rick Dangerous 2. I actually quite enjoy Rick Dangerous 1 and 2. What version is this? I think this might be the Amiga. Can I find a review anywhere? For the ST got 91%. For the Amiga, 90%. One of the most insanely difficult games I've ever played. Ads. Flight of the Intruder. This was on the cover. What is it? Flight Sim? Looks like it. I enjoy flight sims. But friggin' hell, it got it impressed the lads at Raze magazine, that's for damn sure. Sound is convincingly pushed out of the PC speaker, plus there's good support for the AdLib sound card. Graphics are luxurious for a PC flight sim, especially in Glorious VGA. Of course, due to the polygon structure of the game, those slower machines will suffer, but the detail and content of the game still remains. Oh, and versions for the Amiga and Atari ST previews. Very nice. Punisher, Circle of Blood, one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. I really don't like this game, but let's see what I think of it. 65% for the Atari ST. Is it that much better than the Amiga? Actually, I thought the Amiga version was better. 68%. Yeah, not a great game. Sunsoft, so this must be the Batman on the Mega Drive. For Nintendo, 82%. The Mega Drive, 79%. Todd's Adventures in Slime World, a 2-page review for an Atari Links game. Let's have a look and see what they gave it, because I rate this game very highly. Atari Links, 92%. Oh, Knock. From Ocean, coming to most. Yeah, Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore, Atari ST, and Amiga. Screenshots, probably taken from the arcade, just to confuse young kids. Simulacra. I don't know. What's that poster for? Betrayal. Never heard of it. Shadow of the Beast 2. Yeah, Shadow of the Beast was one of the games that would define the Amiga. What did they rate the sequel? 83%. I'm not going to read all that because we'll be here all day if I do. Future Basketball. What did I get? For the ST, you got 89%. Amiga, 92%. What's that? Manix? Not familiar with that one. In fact, you'll hear me say that quite a lot because they did feature a lot of Amiga and ST stuff, and I had never even seen an Amiga or an ST. There's a review for Manix. Actually, Helix Boy, that was a PC Engine game, wasn't it? Let's take a look at the screenshot. Looks kind of familiar, but I'm not familiar with it. The world can be a frightening place at times, and no place more scary than a graveyard. But that is just the place you start your spooky quest. They give it 73%. Large, bold sprites make the game fun to play. The scenery is well drawn and detailed enough to be recognised as the bowels of hell. A tune plays throughout the game behind a small array of simplistic, for the engine, sound effects. Into that game with a bit more detail. Goal of the Aztecs. Guess it's as good as mine. Paperboy, oh boy. Actually, what are we reviewing Paperboy on? Game Boy? Can't be, it's a cover screenshot. What's that? Amiga screenshot. The Amazing Spider-Man for Game Boy, 68%. What's this? Raze release rundown. So yeah, all the games coming soon. We'll have a quick flick through some later issues, so we'll see some of them. So what's this? Hacks and Stacks. So this must be tips. Anything interesting? Nope, not really. Stick with me, folks. Stick with me, folks. We'll find something of interest. What's that? Ads. Enter Shinobi. What's this? Shinobi for the Master System. Let's see what they're saying for tips. Stephen Garbett from somewhere. You're unhinged. You're getting me into wax. You state that by pressing the joypad down and hold button 2 from the title screen, it's possible to start at any level simply by rotating the joypad. What are you on? Balmy, cuckoo, delirious, nuts, rabid, unstable. Don't worry, Dr. Zach is here. I don't know what that is about. Let's have a look at this budget blitz. Ooh, some of the cheapies. Impossible Mission 2. Pub Trivia Simulator. Yeah, these games would be the ones that everyone would be picking up because they were cheap and they were plentiful. It was also one of the big things why a lot of computer or a lot of companies that made games for the computers didn't like consoles, because at least they could have put out a couple of cheap games here and there. With consoles, no, everything was one standard extortionate price. Fire and Forget 2. I thought it was Fire and Forgot, but what do I know? What's this? Hot Slots, yes. Let's have a look at the arcade scene. What are we looking at? American football, Smash TV, something or other. What's that? Fantastic Dragonflight giveaway. So, oh yeah, we're on to the letters, we're on to the adverts at the back. Actually, that's what the consoleized Commodore 64 actually looked like. The Commodore 64 GS. What else? Nice picture of Robocop there. Raise that word. And some more adverts. So yeah, that was issue 1 of Raze. I don't know if I'll bother looking through every single issue because we'll be here for a while, but I do want to have a look through issue 2 because I've not actually gone through these magazines for a long time, and issue 2 is where it all started for me. I knew next to nothing about games and the games industry before opening these very pages. Now this is not the actual copy of issue 2 that I picked up all them years ago, but yeah, it's all about the nostalgia, isn't it? What's this? Cartridge power. Cartridges for what? Commodore 64 game cartridges. Oh, so they were selling Commodore cartridges at this time. So yeah, we've got Pang, we've got Shadow of the Beast, Robocop 2 and Chase 82 for the Commodore 64, and of course there we have Lotus, which I think was probably for the Amiga. So we've got contents page. We'll definitely have a look at that. Big in Japan in a moment. What are they reviewing? Let's have a look. They're reviewing Navy SEALs for the Commodore 64 GS. Was that a special version just for the console? We'll have a look. Oh, for the Game Boy, Ninja Turtles, Robocop. Oh, a few Mega Drive titles. Klax, Rastan Saga 2, Moonwalker, Populous, Ninja Turtles and Robocop 2 for the NES. Again, lots of Amiga and ST games. Was there any PC Engine games? There was. Rastan Saga 2, Legendary Axe 2, Operation Warp and Beach Fleet. So what are they talking about? New Origins. Anything interesting going on here? What's that? Console action. Nothing. So let's have a look. We've got adverts. We've got something of an Altered Destiny. Test Drive 3. Test Drive 2 is actually one of the first Mega Drive games I ever had. Let's have a look. Ooh. Cowabunga. Go totally mad this Christmas for the NES. Excellent CD. What's that? That, my dear viewers, is the Commodore, I think, CD32. Not CD32, what am I talking about? The, I used to love looking at these. Look at these screenshots. Now, pretty basic when you look at them now, but back then I was looking at that and going, wow, it's like alchemy or something. Big in Japan. Yeah, I've got no clue what this bird comes from, but don't she look fine. We've got some more risque screenshots from a couple of hentai titles to see where it comes from. Essential screens from some of the smartier software available in Japan. Most of the CD titles are available on CD-ROM for the likes of the FM Towns, although the PC Engine has a couple of titillating titles. And they're talking about the Game Gear with its TV tuner. I had one of them, not brilliant. Slaughter Sports, Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was it coming out for the PC Engine at one point? Perhaps. Pond, again. Robocop, again. What were we reviewing first? Wings of Fury, the old Amiga game. 87%. About right. Klax, classic. For the Mega Drive, 85%. For the Amiga, 83%. The ST, also 83%. What else are we looking at? Loops, what the frig was that? Puzzle game of sort for the PC, ST, and Amiga. And it looks like the Amiga and the PC versions were the best. Never. Rastan Saga 2. Big meaty sprites. Unfortunately, they skimped on the gameplay. PC Engine 64%, Mega Drive 57%. I have it on the PC Engine actually. 9 lives. Guessing it's an Amiga game. It certainly is. ST version's better. Legendary Axe 2. Looks just like Rastan Saga. Admittedly, the game does look remarkably like Rastan Saga 2. Also released this month. Unfortunately, the game has changed little from its sadly. The graphics haven't improved much, neither has the sound. In fact, there are far better games available for the engine. Pond, what was it get? 88%, pretty decent. Sector X, decent shooter, 80%. Budokan, early title for Mega Drive, 80%. Navy SEALs. Actually, I'm quite curious about this. I've heard about Navy SEALs for the Commodore, but I don't know anything about it. Shoot 'em up action. 87%, pretty decent. Operation Wolf, I think that was for the PC Engine. I don't think the PC Engine ever actually had a light gun, to be honest. Moonwalker, 87%, seems a bit high. Vaccine. US Gold, arcade puzzle. No clue. Adverts, plotting. Ninja Turtles. I remember studying these little pictures and trying to draw them and doing all these doodles because I wanted this game more than you can ever imagine. NES version 87%. The Game Boy version 93%. Game Boy version is actually pretty decent, and there he is, the man himself, Murphy or Robocop. This is Robocop. Actually, what is this for? Amiga. I don't think I've ever actually seen the Amiga version, so let's take a closer look. It looks similar-ish to the first game, to be honest. Never seen it up and running, I don't think. Ooh, I love that picture. Robocop 2. Hollywood Collection. Ooh, I actually reviewed that recently. Hollywood Collection. This is where I first heard about it. Robocop, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, and Batman. Yeah, I got the Amiga version. And Bomber Bob. Don't know. Beach Volley. PC Engine game. 73%. So yeah, this is actually going on for quite a while, so we're going to skip along and see if anything catches our eye. Some adverts there for computer versions of classic games like Line of Fire and eSWAT. So, Legend of the Lost for Amiga. Is that point and click game? I think it's look pretty tasty, don't they? No, nothing about that. That was Turbo Challenge. Prophecy, the Viking Show, Populous. God, everyone was playing this game at one point. Coming soon. Packs and stacks. We're looking at tips now. Blah 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 blah. Anything else worth pointing out? Hot slots, arcade machines. Let's have a look. Line of Fire from Sega. I had the Master System version. Never seen the arcade version. That could be something to do in the future. Having a look at Master System arcade games. So let's have a look. I'm actually missing a couple of issues, so we're going to jump up to issue, what's that? Issue 7. So May 1991. So by this time, Raze should be getting into their groove. On the cover, we have Midwinter 2. Never heard of it. Actually, did they ever have any decent covers or old Raze? I mean, there's Ninja Gaiden. What the Master System version? I'm not sure. Oh, the Atari Links version they're looking at. Blockbusters, Space Mutants, and actually this is issue 12. This is actually the last ever issue. So they're looking at Super Mario Bros. Are you looking at Super Mario Bros. 3? Scoop preview for Mario Bros. 3 in October 1991. I forget when this came out in the US, but it came out a lot later in the UK. So yeah, let's have a look through the last ever issue. They're talking about the Powered Love. Just had to make a quick cut there as I thought I heard a knock at the door, and I was right, as a package would arrive. But in keeping with the theme of this video, there was nothing very interesting inside. But what was it? Was it a new console to add to the collection? Bollocks, was it? It was in fact 5 kg of anabolic whey protein to build up me muscles. So where were we? Well, first thing I had to do was switch on the light, because despite being only nearly 3:45 on an English summer's day, the light's gone out. So yeah, what were we looking at? We were looking at the Powered Love, and what else we got? We got some totally awesome Battletoads. But I want to draw your attention to this, the review index. We're starting with the Atari Links, Game Boy, Game Gear, Mega Drive. The Neo Geo makes an appearance with titles like Ninja Combat and Super Spy. We've got the NES and Super Famicom. Notice anything missing? That's right, they've dropped the computers. No more Amiga or ST. It's gone 100% console, or as they like to put it, they are the world's best console and handheld games magazine. So what do we got here? We've got some news. Oh, hello. We have got some information regarding the GX4000, have we? Consoles crack up. It looks as though The much scoffed at Amstrad Gx4000 and CBM 64GS may have finally bitten the dust. High Street giant Dixon's announced last month that both, where does it continue? It continues here. Both machines were currently being sold at $29.99, with the GX4000 dropping soon to 20 squids. In a blunt statement, Dixon said that the Amstrad has sold just as they had expected. Terribly. That's right, only a year ago they were proudly promoting the Amstrad GX. In fact, I used to see it advertised quite a bit in comics I used to read in the thing. Now, I think we should skip ahead and start bringing this video to a close because, well, let's see if actually, I mentioned something about Golden Axe there. What were they talking about? Golden Oldie returns. One of the first and best games to appear on the mighty Mega Drive is about to be sequelized. Oh yeah, they're talking about Golden Axe 2. What's this? Ooh, top 10 games for the Famicom or Super Famicom in Japan. Number 1 of all time, Sim City. Yeah, was this the only 10 games available? We got Dragon Populous, Gradius 3. What the hell is that? Gathering? Maybe Gundam? I don't know. F-Zero, Ultraman, Final Fight, Baseball, Mario World. Interesting. Mega Drive top 10. Oh, Japan. Bananas Brothers, Langrisa. Sungokushi. That's Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Strider. Veritech. Shadow Dance. Aero Blasters. Volleyball. Oh, PC Engine. Let's have a look at this. Super Momotaro Densetsu. The Legend of Peach Boy. Bomberman. Shubibi Man. I've heard of that. I think I might even have a copy of that, to be honest. But yeah, again, nothing very interesting. What's that? PC Engine laptop arrives. They're talking about the LT. Very nice. What else we got? They're talking about the Mega CD, Battletoads. That looks like a Game Boy version. What else? Cartoon Madness. Yeah. Oh, hello. More powerful, Mina kicking up a storm force this autumn. So Raze actually would transition into two magazines that I would come to adore, though I didn't realise they were related. Sega Force and N-Force. And these are not... yeah, these are not the actual covers of issue 1 of both of them. I think... yeah, the contents displayed here on these covers do not respect the... of either tone. Some main... names mentioned are fictitious. I was going to say that because look at the game they're reviewing. Borobodo, whatever that is. And Exposed, Stormman, the very best combat games. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, I'd come to be a big fan of both Sega Force and N-Force. So is there anything worth checking out here in, what's that, Sega City? So they're looking at stuff coming up. What was that? Saddle Rush? What? They're talking about arriving on the Mega Drive in September will be the conversion of the superb coin-op Road Rush. Superb coin-op Road Rush. Is that right? I don't think it started as an arcade. It involves you, a high-powered motorcycle, and no rules whatsoever. No, don't know what to tell you about that, but yeah, Road Rush, excellent game. Adverts, Atari Attack. Looks like we're talking about a lot of Link stuff. Super Mario Bros. 3. I would argue with anyone until I'm blue in the face to this very day that Super Mario Bros. 3 is still one of the best video games ever developed. I'm trying to see what they gave it. Oh, this is a preview. Oh, hello. Finally, we come to something worth talking about. Check this out. Introducing the Nintendo compatible computer video game. That's it. The DAC, Digital Audio Corporation, don't know them. Suitable for UK, US, Japan, Asian Nintendo games. Yes, one of the clone consoles getting a full-page advert in a mainstream video game magazine. Now, this thing is rarer than hen's teeth. I've never, ever been able to find one of these, and I've always wanted one. This thing looks like it would play American NES games, European NES games, but also Japanese Famicom games. Now, most of you are probably thinking that, you know, these clone consoles, the ones that will play your old NES games or your SNES and Mega Drive games together with HDMI outputs. These are new things. No, this was being released back in 1990 and 1991, but I've never ever been able to find one of these ones that would play. And one cool feature as well is, I just noticed it as well, I think they mentioned up here somewhere, is besides the wired controller, they have wireless controllers. Again, not exactly a new thing, but yeah, now you could go into a lot of high street stores and actually buy clone consoles. You'd see them bold as brass on the shelves, clone consoles sitting right next to official. I remember seeing a clone console called the Scorpion, which was a Mega Drive clone console, really cool looking one as well, and I remember it very well because I wanted one. But I remember seeing one of those sat right next to an official Mega Drive on the shelf. I was always looking for one of these on eBay and all kinds of shops I'd go to. Anyone out there ever have any experience of this machine or machines like it back in the early 90s? Let me know. So what we're looking at here, EA Hockey. Those inexplicably popular hockey and American football games. Actually, what did they score these? 88%. Installed. Awesome game. Hunt for Red October. Actually, is that for the Game Boy? What else are we looking at here? Skate for Die. Caesar's Palace. Okay, well, we're going to skip along. Oh, Super R-Type. We'll have a look at what they gave that. 77%. Maybe quite fair, actually. King's Bounty. Probably an NES game. What's that? Shadowgate. What is that? Can't be Amiga. They've scrapped the Amiga. It is NES. 82%. Battle Tank. Anything interesting? Anything at all? Come on, work with me here. What are we looking at? Devilish. Woody Pop? Game Boy, I think. Super Spike V-Ball. Ooh la la. Hello. Marvel Land. Any of you who have yet to play Marvel Land on a Mega Drive, take it from me. This is one of the best platform games you will ever play. It's got a daft name in Europe. I know because I've got the European version of this. It's called, well, just check out what it got here. Look, Mega Drive graphics, the best backgrounds of any Mega Drive game. Hundreds of brilliant sprites, 96% sound, pretty good playability, non-linear routes in most levels, loads of hidden extras, enhanced gameplay. Overall, 96%. But yeah, the European title for this is, I think, Talmit's Adventure. And we have a review of I think it's an AES game, must be. This magazine comes from 1991. But yeah, Ninja Spy, Ninja Combat, that's another Neo Geo game, isn't it? Julian Boardman raided the petty cash tin to get hold of this. Raided the petty cash tin to get this copy. Does it list the price? 128 sodding pounds. Defender of the Crown. Fairy Tale Adventure. Oh, the RPG. I'm thinking of something else completely. Access Tag. Oh, okay, so we'll come to the end of the issue and Sonic the Hedgehog. This might be a... Oh, this is tips. I thought it might be a preview. Sonic the Hedgehog, The Hidden Rooms, Game Gear, Advertisement, Simpsons, Tips, Powered Love, Special Feature, Solution Books. I had some of them. I think I still do, actually. Ooh, hello. Raze, next month we'll be back. Raze, more reviews than any other console magazine. No, you wouldn't. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, I think. I'd like to go through all these magazines, but this video would go on forever if I did that. So actually, what issue is this? This is issue number 11 for the month. Oh yeah, anything worth talking about? Hello, Big in Japan. I saw Splatterhouse. What's that? The NES version. Famicom CD-ROM gone. There's a big question mark over the future of Nintendo's Super Famicom CD-ROM drive. That a CD-ROM is in the pipelines is undisputed. Quite who is going to produce the machine is another matter. Well, I'll fill in the blanks there. It was Sony. In fact, it would be Nintendo who would actually pull out of the deal, with Sony pretty far advanced in development. But the reason why there was a disagreement between Nintendo and Sony was that Sony wanted to release a standalone Super Nintendo and CD console. So when Nintendo didn't want that, they just wanted Sony to produce the add-on itself. So after the Sony-Nintendo partnership ended, Sony would continue developing the machine. The machine that would become the PlayStation 1. Just imagine how different history would be had Nintendo and Sony actually worked together. And to be honest, I think as we come to Sega City, I think that's probably it. The NEC NAX, what are they talking about now? First portable CD-ROM console, Supersonic Save D. I think this That's some Oliver Frey artwork. We're doing the review of Midnight Resistance, I think it is. I think I'll bring the video to an end. Shadow Warrior. What's this for then? This is for, oh, the NES. This is Ninja Gaiden. So, I'd like to thank you, all of you who made it to the end of the video and have sat there and watched me go on and on and on about nothing in particular. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, so I've got a lot of stuff pent up that I wanted to get off my chest, and you know me, I love to have a talk. Acne version of Viz, if you know what that is, well done to you. What's that? Knockout Boxing. James Buster Douglas Knockout Boxing. So yeah, we come to the end of this magazine, or we'll come to the end of the video as well, I think. So what can I say? Definitely have some more videos coming soon. I've got lots and lots of ideas, lots and lots of things in the pipeline. Hopefully a few more videos kind of like this, just not as long, and where I look at different things, look at different aspects of gaming rather than the games themselves. Look at like collecting, maybe even do some pickup videos, who knows. So this has been my video looking at some of the issues that made up my Raze collection. A fantastic little magazine, very much of its time. Introduced me a lot to the Japanese side of things, the Commodore Amiga as well. Some Robocop Terminator comics mixed in there. Is it worth going out of your way to pick up in 2021? To be honest, yes, I think it is actually. If you can pick these up for a decent enough price, they're definitely worth having. Video game magazines aren't something you see a lot of people talking about. They're not difficult to get hold of as well, to be honest. But like me, I'm only missing a certain number of issues, certain magazines I'm trying to pick up, and of course they're the ones that I can never come across. But look, that's enough waffling from me. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. More videos coming soon, so I'm going to end it here, and I think I can actually hear it raining outside. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. My name's Greg, this has been Consoletronix. More videos coming soon, so till I see you next time, thank you for watching and goodbye.